Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be covering different topics in this video, and the first one would be a surprise attack in Saudi backyard. What happened? So a vessel caught fire in the Gulf of Aden after being hit by a suspected projectile, according to the UK Maritime Trade Operations, also known UKMTO. Now what they are doing is and what they're saying is that the Cameroon-flagged tanker was en route from Oman to Djibouti when it was struck near Yemen's coast. Okay, so this is something very, very shocking, especially for the Zionist entity, and I'll play a video from Israel Cats talking about that and how they're reacting to it. A radio traffic indicated the crew was preparing to abandon the ship, prompting a search and rescue operation. The incident comes shortly after the reported death of top Houthi military leader Muhammad Ghamari, raising fears of renewed regional escalation. Is this going to be escalated? Very likely. Is it going to be escalated against Israel this time? I don't think so. However, I do believe that the Houthis, they will continue to target Israeli ships or any ship for that matter linked to Israel, whether it is coming from UK or US or from wherever. Now take a listen at this statement from Israel Katz, what he's saying. He's the, I believe, the war minister or something in Israel.
את החות'ים בתימן, ואני מציע למנהיגי החות'ים לראות ולהבין ולזכור, מי שמרים יד על מדינת ישראל ידו נגדעת, מי שפוגע ייפגע קשות שבעתיים. אנחנו נכה בעוצמה ולא נאפשר את המשך המצב הזה של ירי ואיומים על מדינת ישראל.
Okay, so this is a warning from him that he said Houthis will be held accountable and he will do this, he will do that. Now take a look at this report. This is shocking. This is scaring Israeli, the Zionist entity. And it basically says that Israeli military suffers casualties in first bomb attack since Gaza ceasefire amid non-stop killing. In a dramatic escalation in the occupied West Bank, two Israeli soldiers were moderately wounded in the town of Tubas after Palestinian fighters launched a surprise explosive attack. Okay, so this is a new form of escalation in Palestine, but this time it happened in West Bank. We'll talk about Gaza in a second. And so what else we know? And so after this surprise explosive attack during an IDF raid, the Israeli media, okay, the Israeli media, the military, Israeli military, not the media, the military admitted the soldiers were injured during what it called offensive activity, quote unquote, offensive activity, as operations continued to find the assailant. They do not know who launched this attack. They have absolutely no clue, and therefore the investigation is still underway. Now the strike came just a day after a wave of arrest and house raids by Israeli forces across several West Bank cities. If you are not already aware, I should tell you there is a genocide going on in the West Bank. Okay, it never stopped. Even during the offensive, when the IDF forces were inside of Gaza, they still managed to send other troops to West Bank. So they continued this genocide elsewhere at the same time, even though a lot of us, we did not notice that. But this is what is happening. So they're raiding these houses in West Bank by Israeli forces across several West Bank cities. Human rights groups say children and former prisoners were among the dozens detained during the crackdown. Okay, so it just remind us, guys, when they release prisoners to not prisoners, hostages. Actually, they are not Palestinians. They are not prisoners. They're hostages, and they're detainees. Okay, so when they're detained or when they're released, when these hostages, Palestinian hostages, are released from Israel into Gaza, they compensate that by taking more hostages from West Bank. So at the end of the day, they're really not releasing anybody. They're not making situation better for anybody. Okay, that's the bottom line. So if you take a look at this particular report, I want you to take a listen to what these ladies are saying. This Zionist women, I should not call them ladies, they're women. Well, let's see what they're saying here.
Because it's not over yet. We are still in the midst until the last one returns. We need to be here. We need to show presence. We need to understand that until the last one arrives here, we cannot leave the square.
Yes, I think some people don't understand that the joy and great happiness for the living hostages who returned and managed to survive all this time still doesn't mean the struggle is over. There are still families waiting for their loved ones. Not to mention Hadar Golden, who is from Operation Protective Edge in 2014.
Yeah. You never hear them talking about Palestinian hostages. They never feel for anybody else other than just for themselves.
He is still waiting for him, so I am with the families until the last hostage returns. And hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed like this, all fingers, that everyone will return as soon as possible, that they will find everyone, that everyone will reach burial, so that we can truly begin to mourn them, the families certainly, and also us as a people.
Yeah.
They are responsible for the failure. On that day, and every day since, until this very day.
Okay, so again, rhetoric from the Zionist people, only talking about them. They are prisoners in Gaza. I thought they were all released. Now you also have another report. This one, let's see what they're saying. Is basically saying that Hamas they have done something. So Israel erupts in rage. Headache for Netanyahu after Hamas refuses the hostages remain in Gaza. So they have not said what they will do because they are not finding those hostages. So this is why you see this rage from the Zionist people in Israel demanding that their hostages should be released. Now take a look at this other report here. Actually, just want to give you a little bit more update on this hostage situation. So thousands gather at Tel Aviv Hostage Square to demand the return of the remaining bodies of Israeli hostages still held in Gaza. Among them was a teacher, was a teacher. And they have family, their teacher, their student, but they don't consider Palestinians to be human being at all, let alone calling them teacher or mother or father. Quote, I stand with the families, one person said, until the last of the 18 hostages returns. Protesters held photos of those killed during the October 7 attacks, whose remains have not yet been recovered. Okay, so then you also have another news, this one. This one is basically saying that Hamas's bombshell, secret letters sent to Israelis, leaked after daring smuggling from Gaza. So families of now freed Israeli hostages have revealed the existence of secret letters sent from Gaza during captivity, written under Hamas's watch, delivered by the Red Cross. The letters from hostages Alon Ohel and Guy Gilbo Dalal, I don't even know how to say these names, were passed on in August during the filming of Hamas's propaganda video, according to this report. Outside a Red Cross center, reports can kept secret until the hostages' release. The messages offered emotional insight and hope to the families. This marks the first public case of such letters reaching Israel. Now, I want you to go take a listen at this particular statement from Donald Trump.
How does that move the needle?
Yeah, I do. I think we carry a lot of momentum, a lot of credibility. Getting Middle East done was very important. Nobody thought it could be done. That was one nobody thought could be done, and we got it done. And a lot of that was the big hit that we put on Iran with respect to the nuclear. They took that was an unbelievable military maneuver, the B-2s, and many other planes involved, by the way, but the B-2s. Yeah, I think nobody expected that to happen. And, you know, we had 59 countries involved, and these were countries very diverse. You had Arab, Muslim, Jewish, you had every country, Christian.
Okay, so he is obviously doing a victory lap for his so-called peace that he has established throughout the world, while bombing Venezuela at the same time. So something very, very interesting, right? Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.